And now it's mid-August. We haven't had any rain since mid-June, and as I probably said earlier, May was super dry, so April was the last time we had any really decent rain. So this is the park strip here. I've planted some late season orange cosmos here and protected with their little shades here until they get established. So I'll water these. These will be orange flowers in September and into October. So just playing with nature here and planting something that's not from here but that I know will be a nice show come early fall here. So again, this is the park strip, the tufted hairgrass, California poppies and so forth that are all dry. Just the hairgrass is dormant. The poppies have produced seeds that won't germinate until it gets wet here again. So the red flowering currant almost is looking like it has fall color on it. It's under a lot of stress, but it can tolerate it. It's from here. Just view towards the entryway here with mock orange on the lower right. It's early morning, so the light's a little different from other times I've done this video, which is just great. Of course, at this time of year I keep the bird baths with water. It's really important to, not just to birds, but to native mammals and reptiles. And as always, I show what the tubs look like right now, in this case with begonias in them. This is the time of year I open up this walkway here after all the plants nearby have gone dormant. So it's my woodland path. This is an area, if I haven't shown it before, where I'm killing some unwanted plants here, so I've just put down landscape fabric for the growing season. Now into the vegetable garden. And as usual, we have some some more zucchinis ready here. I eat zucchini every day at this time of year, and so I have no complaints about zucchinis. Here on the trellis, I don't know if we can see it, I grow my butternut squash up to conserve space here, and they're developing there. They don't need any extra help. The vine's perfectly strong to hold them. My late summer plantings of let's see, this is cabbage, and over there is broccoli, and so I just transplanted them a few days ago, and I initially have them completely shaded just to help them get over transplant shock, and then little by little I let more light in. So that's what these boards are doing here. So this is my fourth planting of cabbage and broccoli. The chard continues to do a great job. Now the pole beans are starting to produce. This is my favorite bean altogether, these green beans right here. So they'll produce for well over a month here. And of course the black-eyed Susans are still showing off. And I've been picking tomatoes for well over a month now, so this is the best tomato year I've ever had. It's pretty spectacular. And I'll show the cucumbers here backlit so they show up a little bit better. Let's see if we can get in here. Yeah, so I can watch these from inside the house and see when they're when they're getting ready to be picked. Apples are producing now and falling to the ground. That tells me they're ripe. So most of these will go into applesauce. These are my columnar maples, or columnar apples. And I've transplanted my leeks. They're an important winter vegetable here, and so the third or fourth planting of bush beans over here. Belgian endives looking great. That won't be dug up until around Thanksgiving. My winter beets are developing here. They'll get roots, maybe 6 inches across here in another couple months. I've dug most of my onions now. These are winter onions, storage onions. So more leeks with a lot of little unwanted plants, tomatoes, foxgloves, and weeds that have come up because of the compost I put on here, but they're easily removed. Carrots developing here, so I don't eat many carrots at this time of year. These are mostly for December through March or April. And then these aren't edible. This is Dame's Rocket, but these are a biennial plant, a flower I really like to have in spring here that I just transplant here so they get nice and big, and then I'll move these onto one of my projects. Actually the Safeway project that's a mile or so from here. I'll plant them in November or December, so they'll be blooming next May there. So, but I start them on my home site here. Compost silos just turned again. Try to do that every few weeks here. And oh yes, hello to the hens as usual. Good morning, girls. You had to be inside yesterday while I was in the woods, but they're back outside today. And I've stopped harvesting blackberries. These are thornless blackberries here. I grow them mostly to make juice out of them, and or not juice, sauce, but I've made all the sauce I'm going to need for the coming winter. So these, well, the birds eat them, including the hens, if they can reach them. So that's about it for this time. I have probably mentioned before that I've girdled my apple tree, and it still refuses to die, but it will die. And this is the girdled area here where I've removed the bark and the cambium, but it's still pulling up water and nutrients. But again, that's not going to last forever. I do want this tree to die. I've replaced it. Here's the new one here with its couple little first year apples on it. And then I talked about the Dame's Rocket, getting that ready for next year. This is foxglove here, another biennial that I grow and kind of give it a little extra pampering and coddling to get it established, so it'll be a big show next May. And that's about it. So this is the nectarine tree here. I've done the summer pruning on it after I finished picking the last fruit a couple weeks ago. And maybe we'll stop at the Bolivian begonias here. So still a nice show. Should be until almost frost. So that's a story here, almost late August here, 2018 at 2755 Potter Street.